Hey there all, Hipper here. Today I am taking the Amalfi out, and I've grown really fond of this cruiser here. It's one of my favorite Tech Tree cruisers, actually. And I haven't even upgraded my commander fully. Um, I'm very excited to actually do that. Um, and the reason I like this cruiser here is that you can get away with all sorts of naughty things in this thing here. See here, I am just moving straight into the cap, right under the nose of 3 other ships. And I use the speed first and foremost to get into a good position. Like now I am safe behind the mountain here, and I'm already capping, and we're only about a minute into the match. Not even a destroyer can make it this fast. Except for the really, really fast French or Russian ones, of course. But anyway, this is a cruiser and we are capping, and we'll just sit here behind the mountain and cap in peace before we do anything further. Now this is a good start to any battle, pretty much. But from here on it goes downhill, and it goes downhill pretty fast. As you can see, my battleships are behind me. They are not really backing me up. I'm not really sure what they're doing. But they're, yeah, good question. So anyway, I have capped now, and I'm not going to sit around here and wait for the 3 enemies to close in and corner me here behind this mountain. So I'm going to make a break for it here. And the rolling smoke on this ship, it's just great. Like, I use it when I get into so much trouble, and where like a normal cruiser would probably take a lot of damage or get sunk. But with the rolling smoke, you can just, it's a get out of jail free card, like I usually say. I have an agile build on Amalfi, and it's a very nice agile cruiser, actually. We got a nice citadel there on the Assumer from the front. It was excellent. Anyway, this is a 43 knot cruiser with less than 3-second rudder. So it's already very, very agile. And on top of that, you get the rolling smoke as well. And I usually use that if in some like situation I have to show broadside to an enemy. Say I have to turn around and like I don't have time to go the long way or something like that. It's just very, very useful. So now this battleship here is just suddenly pushing ahead, and he is completely oblivious to the enemies at B, who will have a very nice shot at his broadside there. Like, he really should have stayed behind or just to the left of the island in the middle of the cap, so which would allow us to get this hipper from 2 sides, because I'm trying to get on this hipper's left side here, and hoping that the battleship will stay where he is. Unfortunately, that battleship takes a huge citadel in a second, because he's sitting there in the middle of open water, full broadside to the enemy team. And there he goes. And that's pretty much where I know that this battle is not going to go very well. So the hipper is pushing forward. He probably wants to cap, and I mean, that makes sense. So I'll try to get into a position where I can ambush him when he comes around. Well, not really ambush him, because he's fully aware of where I am. I see here is a situation where I was getting in a little bit over my head. Suddenly that battleship came out from behind the island, and with a hipper in there as well, I thought, oh, okay, that's a little bit too much. I'm gonna get citadeled. So I just popped the rolling smoke, and instantly I am off detection, and I can reposition or take a few pot shots, whatever I want to do. Now I keep saying that if you're a battleship player or a destroyer player and you want to get into high tier cruiser play, and a high tier cruiser play is quite different from the lower tiers, I think Amalfi is an excellent first ship. Exactly for the reason that you don't get punished if if you make a mistake, like in any other cruiser, except Wichita, you don't get punished there either, but you cannot buy Wichita if you don't have it already. So that's why I recommend Amalfi as a starting point. Because of that rolling smoke, it will just make your life so much easier as a tier 7 cruiser. So here I really need to get rid of this Hipper here. It's just stopping me from making any progress here. And I need to take him out fast, because I'm taking a lot of damage here. I'm all by myself, because I don't know what my battleship is doing, but he's certainly not backing me up. Like, I would expect a battleship player to take out a broadside Hipper like that immediately. So, yeah, I don't know what goes on there. So now I have to fall off detection here. I don't have smoke, or so I can't really smoke up, so I'll have to use the agility of the ship to try not to get wasted, while I try to make another run for the cap, because now these guys are taking it. They have successfully pushed me out and taken out both battleships on my flank as well, which is still quite a mystery to me. But anyway, I'm off detection now, and I will head in for another try. I take a shot at the Colorado here because I want to reset the cap counter. I kind of have to. I don't want to, but it's necessary. And of course the Azuma grabs that chance immediately, and I'll just have to reset it once more. And then I'm going to run into the map border here and do a little bit of the famous T-bull shuffle here. And use the speed to arrange the ship. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like it's cheating or anything, but yeah, it is borderline. I think Wargaming should probably think of something else than this kind of weird border here at the end of the map suddenly. So again, I was caught in a pretty terrible position, so we just pop our smoke. No problem at all. And then while we are sitting in the smoke, we'll take a few shots at this Azuma here, try to get rid of him. Because I want to take this cap before I venture further on. If I go on towards B, the guys over here at C will just be able to shoot at me as well. And instead of having 2 enemies to worry about, I suddenly have the whole team to worry about. So I usually always finish the cap I start at. Or die trying, I guess. Now, as strong as a ship Amalfi is, I still think this ship could go with a little bit of a boost to something. Like a little bit faster reload, a little bit longer torp range, something like that. I still think it's just like it doesn't pack as much of a punch as I would like it to, even with a full offensive build on it, unfortunately. But it is still an exceptionally good cruiser, and it's probably in my top 3 of the tech tree cruisers. It's just missing something to make it excellent, and as it is a tech tree ship, I'm pretty sure Wargaming will buff it at some point. We'll just have to see. They just did in the latest patch, actually, with the smoke reload time. I think it was cut down quite substantially, which helps a lot, yeah. But we need something more for this ship. Now, another Italian ship that could use some kind of a buff is the Abruzzi. I mean, that ship is just a floating citadel. I have played it quite a lot, actually, and I really don't like it. I'm struggling to see what purpose that ship has. It's not really good at anything, other than it has a very nice concealment. But as a cruiser, yeah, it's certainly not my cup of tea. But as it is a premium ship, I think a buff is unlikely. So if you haven't bought that ship, don't buy it. There is no reason to buy a Brutzi at all. Do not buy. So anyway, I was pushed all the way back here after my battleships died, and the enemies have taken the cap, and I'm assuming they've left to go on and fight someone else somewhere else. So I'm going to take this cap back and see what other mischief I can get up to here. But it's looking very, very bleak here. Most of my team was gathered at the A, and they have been pretty much wiped out. Just one after the other. Who knows? So here we are. I'm the last one alive now, and there are still 5 enemies left. So it's rather bleak odds here. Now my plan is, again, to sit here and cap. And once I finish capping, I am going to rush out and hopefully get the last few hit points of this Azuma here. And my plan is pretty much the same like I do all the time in Amalfi. I rush out, and as soon as I see where the enemies are and which direction their guns are pointing, I can determine if I can outmaneuver them or if I have to use smoke. And that's exactly what I'm going to do now. Going to rush out here, and as soon as I see the Azuma, I'm going to take what is hopefully the kill shot. And I saw his guns were in a very nasty position, so I used my smoke immediately, so I can get up to the next island here without getting pummeled by someone on the other side of the map. And this is what I mean, like in a situation like this, the rolling smoke is fantastic. I just wish I had more of them, and perhaps that, like if you had 5 of them perhaps, but they only lasted half as long, that could be one way of buffing this ship a little bit. Now you can use this rolling smoke to pull off really naughty stuff. Like you saw, you can reposition from one island to another island, or you can fool the enemies into thinking that's what you're doing and actually returning to the island you started from, or going to a completely different island. The rolling smoke is extremely useful, and I cannot reiterate this enough. The rolling smoke is not a normal smoke. It's not made to smoke up and then just sit in your smoke in the middle of the ocean and shoot at the enemies. Like, first of all, it doesn't last long enough for that. It's meaningless. You'll get off 2, perhaps 3 salvos. So it's not worth it. And it's not made for that, like, at all. It is made for like pulling off naughty stunts and fooling the enemies, and like playing this cruiser in a very clever way. That's what the rolling smoke allows you to do. But even a rolling smoke cannot save you against 5 enemies here, especially when they have 2 caps, and I've been pushed down here to pretty much 1 flank. So unfortunately this is a loss, but let's be honest, I saw that coming from a long time ago. And we all have battles like this, and it's part of the game, and just have to suck it up and start a new battle, right? So anyway, that was an losing Amalfi battle here for you guys, and like I said, I really like this ship, and I think I will come to like it even more as time goes on. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you out there.